This is a really fun morning session. I took the day off because we were heading to Vancouver Island for the weekend, and you can see that Simon had already taken off to try to get a wake thief here. And you can see him, he was right in the pocket there. He's really good at that. And I followed him and tried to catch up, but it was too late. And after a while, I was like, getting kind of far away from the dock. I better stop. It was a really fun session, though. Beautiful day, and water was pretty flat and everything. And oh my God, I felt so bad here. Lee was in the water, and I was looking at him and talking to him. And then I was like, oh my God. Hit him right in the head with the board. He was okay, thank God, because he had his helmet on. I guess now I know. You really do go where you look, because I was looking at him and talking to him, and it went directly towards him. So I guess the learning from that is be careful where you look when you're going. I think this was probably the longest session, or the longest ride that I had today. Rock started off a rock further up the creek, and was trying to kind of be more relaxed with my pumping, and felt pretty great. And Simon was telling me, keep going. I was too tired. We tried to stay just going along this shore up and down until the waves picked up a little bit, and then we kind of stayed closer to the dock. Now everyone's afraid of me. Simon always says when I come close, I'm not wearing a helmet. But I did a bunch of runs just from the north dock there over to the floating dock, and then get on that and then run back. This is really fun. And I'm practicing that gliding too, especially at the end of my runs there, just getting comfortable with gliding and not pumping and keeping my balance. I'm really trying to practice this, like, not constantly and frantically pumping, like trying to get high in the mast and then just keep the amplitude of the pumps small. This is early on. The first hour or so of every session, I'm always really, tense or whatever, and I don't do a very good job. But then I kind of get into the rhythm and a little more smooth, I guess. So here you can see I was really like trying to get high and then rest, high and then rest. And then when I get tired towards the end, I always fall back into those bad habits of like pumping too fast. Here I was really trying to just use my feet and my knees to do that rhythm. You can see it, and it's much better than it was earlier. And I was yelling to Simon like, "Hey Simon, check it out, I'm doing that thing." He couldn't hear me. Yeah, because we were talking earlier about like having that like smaller amplitude and just allowing the board to rise rather than pushing at the wrong time, you know? You can see there I'm more like getting into that little smooth oscillation. And it's really fun flying along there because you can really lean into it and get speed because you're sheltered from the conditions. You know, there's way less wind in there, waves, and usually less current. So once you make that corner around, out of the creek and into that little dock area, you can just fly through there, like lean way out and just rip into it to get speed. You can see starting to get a little bit of a breeze coming up, and there were swells starting to roll in. So it was a little tougher, but I was trying to do that thing where you just glide high on the mast. The same thing though, getting tired and then going back into that fast pumping thing. So here I was going over to the like flying over to the other dock and then just coming back. I can't remember what happened there, but like it was getting a little bumpy out there, and I remember I just lost all my lift for some reason when I made that turn, and I was just like, whoa, well, you can really see me leaning into it to try to get speed heading upwind there. Here I was doing what might be my last ever start off of that Coast Guard float because one of the Coast Guard guys had seen me there, and he was like, "Yeah, man, that looks really fun and everything, but don't want you jumping off of that because there's sharp metal stuff. If you fall, you have no helmet, you're gonna get brained, basically." I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I'll stay off of it from now on." You can see the frequency is lower there at the beginning because I was really trying here. This is one of the last sessions, and I'm like, okay, I'm really going to try to get into that pump, glide for a second, pump, glide for a second rhythm. And then I just took it back, and then I was like, I think I'm done for today. That was so much fun. Oh yeah, Adam had showed up down there in the dock. He's like, "Whoa, what's up?"